It's Maundy Thursday. Today we remember the part of the Easter story called the Last Supper. At this point in the story, Jesus had to be careful because the Roman authorities were now watching his every move. When the evening came, Jesus and his disciples met in an upper room at a friend's house in Jerusalem to share the Passover meal. We're going to discover what the Passover meal was.
Passover is one of the most important festivals in the Jewish year. The feast takes place in early springtime. Passover is an 8-day-long celebration. The feast reminds all Jews of their escape from slavery over 3,000 years ago when they were led out of Egypt by Moses. We're going to show you all the parts of the Passover meal, but first let's hear the story.
Moses went to see Pharaoh many times. Each time, Pharaoh refused to release the Israelites. Moses warned Pharaoh that God would send terrible plagues on Egypt if Pharaoh did not let them go. The final plague was the death of the firstborn. God told Moses that the Israelites should mark their doorposts with lamb's blood so that God could pass over their houses and spare them from this plague. This is why the festival is called Passover. Eventually, Pharaoh gave in and told Moses and the Israelites to go at once. They left in such a rush that their bread did not have time to rise. This is why, during Passover, Jewish people eat unleavened bread called matzah. It looks a bit like crisp bread.
So this is a Seder plate, and all the important things go on this plate, and the items of food are symbolic of the Exodus story. Everyone recalls the past and thinks about what the story means for Jews today.
Throughout the meal, cups are filled with wine, and the family drinks 4 cups. The first cup is drunk as a reminder of the freedom of the Jews. The second represents God's promise of deliverance from the Egyptians. The third symbolises God's promise of redemption. And the final cup is the reminder for the Jews that God said, "I will take you as my people."
A shank bone from a lamb is also on the Seder plate. It's not eaten, but it's just there as a symbol, and it's usually taken from whatever meat is served at the dinner time that night. It's a reminder of the lamb which was killed so that the blood can be put on the doorposts. Do you remember that part of the story?
Matzah is eaten. It's symbolic of the haste with which the children of Israel left Egypt.
This tasty mixture of apples and nuts and spices represents the mortar that was used to make bricks and to build Pharaoh's buildings. It's eaten with the matzah crackers.
The parsley is a symbol of the way God cared for the Jews when they were travelling in the desert. Dipping it in the salt water is meant to remind the Jews of the tears that they shed whilst they were still slaves.
Horseradish, or another bitter vegetable, is used because it reminds us of slavery and misery of the people when they were in Egypt. And then at the end of the Seder, a family meal is eaten together. It might be something really special. And the children also have the chance to hunt for what's called the afikomen, which is a hidden cracker, and whoever wins gets a prize. Finally, the Seder meal finishes with a song, as the family all sing together, "Next year in Jerusalem," and that's how the Seder meal concludes.